This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day. There are men who are bound by higher laws, so that amongst the children of Israel, it was normal for you could eat what you wanted as a normal human being. You could wear what you wanted and God will not be angry. But the day that you step beyond the outer court and you were numbered among the priests, your garments had to change. Not because you were no longer a man, but now you have been sentenced to another order of existence. Your possibilities were more. Now they were not bound to eating normal again. They had to eat from the table of the shewbread, a new diet. I'm saying that everybody can study everything, everybody can read everything, everybody is called to pray, but these men live by higher laws. That's who a consecrated man is. A man who has come into the cost factor of the fulfillment of a promise, and he begins to live by the cost. So that if God walks into your house and says eating 3 times a day is right, but you will not eat 3 times a day, you will be sentenced to only dinner until I come back. You will wait for a year and 2 years and 3 years and 10 years, knowing that you will only matter to your generation when you stay. I've shared my story. I was in 100 level and he slipped into my prayer altar and said, son, a generation is tied to you. You will need to tap into God in the future and bring them something. And when God makes a promise, hungry men don't celebrate a promise, they ask for the cost. What price would we pay to see it happen? Because nothing is free. I shared recently, I said an impartation seemingly comes free, but an impartation is preserved by cost. So the Lord said, your breakfast, that's not a problem. I was an engineering student, so eating in the morning was criminal. Classes started at 7. For God's sake, will I eat at 6:30? So I settled. And then after 3 weeks, he said, and lunch. Oh, I thought he was just going to, I know people fast for 72 days. I've even heard of a 400-day fast. So I felt it was normal. But what he told me was until I returned. And God did not discuss resuming regular eating until after 15 years. And so when I look at my mates, I see their big bodies and my body has become so small. Why should I look like this at almost 40? The 35 guy that carried me in Lagos this morning, as I sat in his car, I sensed that there was something wrong. So I began to speak. And then God began to x-ray his life. And then I began to prophesy. And he said, so I'm surprised. He said, how do men give themselves to God like this? He said, I'm almost 40. I'm sure he must have expected that I'll be a 25-year-old boy. He looked very large and very matured, and I don't look like it. But after 15 years and a few days, the Lord said, now I give you 3 days back so that you will not die early. I still hold 4. And so there are days that I forget that I have eaten, or that I have not eaten, even amongst my 3 days. My fiancé has to call and say, have you eaten today? And many times I have to say, I've not eaten. No. Because he cured physical hunger. You don't know that physical hunger is sickness. God cured it. I am a living testimony that man can survive without physical food. It may be a demand, and so I don't lord it over people, but it's a personal consecration. If you ever want to feature in what is coming, then this is the labor. For some of you, God has apportioned the hours of prayer, 5 hours, 6 hours every day. And I hear people say, sir, you know I'm a student and I need to balance my life. Would you be a student forever? Don't you think you should labor for something beyond these walls? Because many matter within here and many fade once they leave. Don't Don't you want to be numbered in your generation? Are you hungry to be a custodian of divine expression? What has he asked you to do that you did for a while and then you dumped? You may need to go back and start again tonight. Are there places that the Lord called you to in the spirit or physically that you abandoned? You may need to go there, because the future will not happen if you don't return. They are consecrated men who live by higher laws. Some of us have been raised by God to be financiers in the future, and God has placed a demand on your finance, but you have not been consistent. Say, no, God, what I owe you is 10%. Even the 10% is even if I have money. If I have other amounts. They are consecrated men. They are men who stretch without being pressured. They stretch because they have seen. They stretch because they have heard.